Unified Communications for Synchrony, presented by Jeffrey Davis, Kyle Dillon, and Mathew Erickson. Synchrony is the largest branded credit card issuer in the world, working with partners like Lowe's, PayPal, Venmo, and Verizon to provide both store-only cards and Visa or MasterCard branded credit cards for those partners. They also provide servicing on those cards, including customer service and collections. In this role, there is a need to have contact with customers through phone, email, or web chat to handle servicing and collections. The business problem, as told to us by Mathew Rushak, the IT manager of voice applications for Synchrony, is we need to leverage a unified platform and universal agents to handle multi-channel customer interactions, inbound, outbound, chat, and email, within a unified desktop and contact center back-end routing platform. This would drastically reduce the headcount required by multiple teams to meet service levels. They also currently have inbound calls, outbound calls, email, and chat capabilities handled by separate systems, as well as an in-house produced front end that they use to handle these called Workstation. Each of these systems are siloed with little to no interaction between the different systems. The total cost of ownership for these almost 500 servers that handle these systems are virtual machines, and all of them are private cloud-hosted solutions in 2 geo-diverse locations in Dallas and Phoenix. The cost per server for this solution is $17,808 for the first year and $1,635 for each year after that. The current lifespan of these servers is 5 years, making this option $49 million over the lifespan of these servers. Combining these servers could result in a much smaller footprint. A conservative projection would be a reduction of 500 servers down to 200 servers, resulting in a net savings of $27 million over 5 years, or an average of $5.5 million a year. There are also 7,000 agents that use one or multiples of these products with a weighted cost of around $53,000 a year. That's a total cost of $371 million a year. And if the combination of these products could increase the efficiency by just 10%, that savings could be $37 million a year. There are also 70 individuals who currently support these systems. They have an average weighted cost of $120,000 a year. The total cost for system support, therefore, is $8.4 million a year. If half of these support teams could be eliminated with a system consolidation, there would be a savings of $4.2 million a year. So just taking these savings into consideration, there could be a potential of $50 million a year saved simply by consolidating servers, support teams, and agents to a unified platform. The current system SWAT, the strengths of the system are that it is already in place. There is a known factor when cost is discussed with the system. Some of the items that are used today are considered best of breed point solutions, and the support organizations are very familiar with the existing technology. The weaknesses of the current system are that while that cost is known, there are inefficiencies inherent in the fact that these are siloed systems, so the cost is much higher than it needs to be. There's also a large technology footprint with over 500 servers existing, supporting the existing systems. The existing systems really only have one opportunity, and that is add-on capabilities for the currently existing systems. For instance, the outbound dialer platform does have the ability to do IVR and SMS functionality at an extra fee that could be licensed. The threats to these systems include stability issues because of the diverse systems needing scheduled for monthly patching requirements. There's also a need to rely on multiple vendors to assist with support issues, meaning there's a lot of finger pointing occurring when issues happen between the systems. There are also multiple vulnerability concerns centered around the fact that these systems each have their own operating system and application platform. Now, Jeff is going to tell us why going with a single unified communications platform is a good idea.
Thank you, Matt. So why go with a single unified communications platform? It's essential to streamline external and internal communications, bringing all communications into one place. It improves communications amongst employees. They all come to the same place to communicate. improves communications with customers. The customers know where to find you. That improves customer satisfaction. It's improving communications with suppliers. This assures that proper orders are put into place. It identifies problem areas. For example, say you're getting the same complaints from different customers in a certain area. It's all being streamlined in that one place. Now you know where your problem areas are. And then from that, you can expedite solutions to take care of problems. So what are the big players saying about unified communications and advertising their own single unified communications platforms? Microsoft talks about that unified communications collaborates all communication, puts it all in one place. Saves time by everybody going into the same place to do their communications. They're not stretching out in different places. They're all coming to one place. It helps to smooth operations in general, and then that adheres to streamlines workflow. NetFortris, they talk about how unified communications offers stability to key functions of a company, whether it be shipping, receiving, accounting, human resources. They're all communicating in one place. It enhances the quality of communications. Again, going into one place for everybody to communicate is making everything better, and it's easily reviewable. And it also allows managers to monitor communications of their subordinates. That way they can go back and check to make sure that their employees are communicating how they want them to communicate. They're communicating efficiently and following company codes. AT&T talks about how unified communications smooths processes and it reduces expenses. Again, by saving time, you're going to reduce expense. Improving customer satisfaction comes from that. The customers build a sense of trust because they know where to get a hold of you. And it also provides tools to be more efficient and more productive. Again, coming to one place and being organized does that. Genesis talks about the ease of access to information. When it's all in one place, it's easy to find it. Improves response times, which is key with clients. It's improving those response times and helping with customer satisfaction. And they also mention how it connects across geographical boundaries. So whether your company is in one place or it's across the world, everybody communicates in the same hub, and that's going to improve communications. And Genesis also notes that it does achieve client satisfaction as well for the same reasons we talked about earlier. Frontier, they use a great analogy of how unified communications is like a football team having a good playbook. If the football team didn't have a good playbook, it's not going to win very many games. And that's what a unified communications platform is for a company. It's a good playbook. So if you want to win at business, a unified communications is definitely a good way to do that. And then Zoom uses a nice real life example of a business called PopSockets, who developed and sells grips for cell phones. Their business exploded in the last few years. And without using Zoom and Zoom's unified communications platform, they would have not been able to handle that growth. And then we'll go to Kyle, who's going to discuss alternatives as far as what's offered out for a unified communications platform.
Thanks, Jeff. So when we're looking for alternatives, we were seeking solutions that offered telephony, seamless integration, and a system that's more unified than the existing. So solutions need to be secure, geodiverse, and supportive of existing disaster recovery policies. Lastly, the solution needed to help reduce the current 500 server footprint. So first, let's look at NetFortris. NetFortris is a hosted voice over internet provider, or VoIP. Instant messaging, screen sharing, and video collaboration are integrated into a single heads-up display. It unifies traditional landline and mobile telecom to provide easy-to-use 4-digit dialing and multi-location transfer. NetFortris also offers business financial solutions. Any amount of setup will be billed as an operational expense and not a capital expense, freeing up CapEx for other solutions. Lastly, NetFortris charges using a small minus big model. This model scales with business growth and keeps customers from overpaying. So for this solution, strengths are that the company provides their own phone equipment to ensure compatibility and host the phone service on their servers. They also claim to save employees up to 2 hours per day in lost productivity. Weaknesses are that the system is telecom focused and won't necessarily replace email and chat applications. No maintenance plan is offered, which may mean that no maintenance is provided. Opportunities include the cash will be freed up for business solutions through SMB pricing. Threats, however, come from that same model, as it is not necessarily designed to help benefit large businesses in the long term. Next, Genesis Pure Connect is a unified communications platform that includes inbound and outbound calling and routing, chat, customer self-service, email, interactive voice response or IVR, instant messaging, and a single interface for all agent interactions. Strengths of Genesis are that it was built from the ground up as a truly integrated platform. Other systems, rather, were created piecemeal from other acquisitions or added together over time. Voice traffic can be controlled locally, meaning that all inbound and outbound calls can still be processed by the corporate PBX system, while call routing would be handled by the PeerConnect system. Geolocation offered by Genesis can help prevent disaster recovery issues. Weaknesses include diminished reporting capability, difficulty in creating custom reports, and workforce management missing key features according to customer reviews. Synchrony might also take issues with Genesis moving to the cloud, meaning loss of control of Synchrony files. Opportunities include an increase of ROI due to reduction in staffing redundancy and equipment, which means that savings could be seen within a year of installation. Add-ons like Visual IVR and Unified Desktop are available as well. Threats would be that Windows is necessary, and Synchrony, it happens to be a blend of Windows and Linux, so compatibility issues may arise. The full suite of products offered by Genesis is also cost prohibitive. Many Synchrony employees are familiar with Microsoft Teams. It is a unified communication solution that combines IM, video conferencing, file sharing, and productivity software. It is easily accessible across desktop, tablet, and mobile OS, and readily compatible with Office Suite software. It offers telecom solutions with its own UI, dedicated phone system, a calling plan, and direct routing. Strengths of this platform would include existing familiarity with Microsoft applications. Many employees use the MS Office suite of tools already, and Synchrony has an existing relationship with Teams and SharePoint. Part of the relationship includes the ability to automate front-end processes to SharePoint library and lists for ease of access, which Synchrony also uses today. There's also the option of retaining legacy telephony while using Teams. One of the weaknesses of using Teams is that it is available only in the cloud. There is no on-premise solution available. There's also the issue of Teams not having any telephony functionality, requiring the use of existing PBX infrastructure. The opportunity of Teams is the collaboration functionality, allowing diagnostic search. In this way, issues can be more easily targeted and fixed. The other opportunity is that the base system is already in place within Synchrony, which would allow for quicker adoption of the new features. Threats for this solution include the fact that Synchrony would also be bound to Microsoft software for ease of use. External threats like malware and phishing scams are present by giving users more control over the system, potentially opening up more security holes. Lastly, as a cloud-based solution, Synchrony would again be losing control over data. So now we'll send it over to Matt for our recommendations and conclusions.
Thanks, Kyle. So each of the three alternatives has positives and negatives for Synchrony. The base requirements, again, for Synchrony were that there needs to be telephony. There needs to be an ability to integrate or include the pieces that are required by Synchrony, such as IVR, chat, and email. And it needs to have a unified reporting solution, or it needs to have a unified database that can be exported to a SaaS database for reporting. There's also the requirement to reduce the server footprint of the company. Taking these factors into consideration, the recommendation for Synchrony would be to go with Genesis PureConnect as a unified communications platform. The Genesis solution is really the only one that would fit all of the requirements, and it would provide the most ROI for the company. The requirements that would be met with the Genesis solution are the single unified database that can send data to the SaaS database to produce reports. It has outbound and inbound calling functionality. It has IVR, chat, email. It has PBX functionality that could be used, and it has a unified interface for controlling the systems and for agent interaction with the customers. The ROI for this solution would be a significantly reduced footprint from 500 down to 200 or less servers, which would result in an annual cost savings of more than $50 million. The pricing for the Genesis PureConnect system is a potential concern. However, the ROI for this at a greater than $50 million cost savings would have to be negligible.